Good morning and welcome back to When Pigs Fly. I am Patty and I'm joined by Renee and Tracy. Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Morning.
So we today, two things. We're going to continue on from the previous episode where we were speaking about, spiritual awakening, and Tracy was sharing a really key story, what we felt to be a relevant story, and we're going to hand it over to Tracy to tie that up a little. We didn't quite land the plane the way we wanted to, and so we're going to start there. But today's topic is, and it's all going to come together, is how do I raise my vibrational energy? And here's another side to consider, or how are you currently lowering it? So it's two sides to this coin. So Tracy, can we jump back in on the bed bug topic?
Yes, thank you, Patty. And just to give a recap for anyone who maybe didn't hear the last episode, I was speaking about a lawsuit that was happening at one of my resorts in the woods in Georgia about bed bugs, and that I had mentioned that by law requirement, the regular or the protocol that you use is you shut down the unit and you use large amounts of very toxic chemicals to kill the bed bugs. So, and I had made a comment of the bed bugs versus the chemicals, and I want to go a little further and say my choice would be to use organic, natural protocols and tools to eradicate the bed bugs. So not that, oh, let the property crawl with bed bugs, because obviously no one wants that. But it's just a example of how we can use our choices and align with what is a vibrational match to how we want the world to be and how we have a relationship with all of nature. So that is a couple examples of making choices that are in consideration of the whole, a bigger picture. I think a lot of times we, as humans in businesses in our life, we look at a very small microcosm of what's happening instead of really trying to extrapolate out and look at a bigger picture and explore all the options. And then also, we do have a lot of control mechanisms in place that mandate and dictate the only way that we can handle situations, and that perhaps we can all start questioning and maybe not even going up against authority. I'm not saying that for sure. But if we even all start saying, can we do this a better way? Do I feel that maybe energies will start align, and then it would be an amazing world, in my opinion, if we had the options of doing things more naturally, more holistically, more comprehensively, and that raises vibration.
Yeah. Well said, Tracy. Thank you for landing that plane for us. And we can begin by using curiosity. These laws and rules and belief systems that have been in place for long, that are all blowing up right now, little by little, came out of fear. And when we use curiosity, that is when we have access to infinite intelligence, and a solution does exist already. We need to want to create it. We want to, it's that choice, and that is a perfect way to raise your vibration. Go into curiosity, let go of the fear. Don't start hating on the bed bugs and the owner of the establishment who's doing their best to give you a beautiful vacation. Nobody wants to create a negative vacation that is owning a property like this. They just don't. And if they do, they're probably not going to be in business very long. So, an example here, I can tell you, Tracy and I were talking off camera about this, is like in California, for example, there are natural solutions for fighting termites that are non-toxic. Now, here's the reality. They come back because they exist. And so it's like, can we bend a little and say this is part of Gaia, this is part of our earth too. So we don't need to come with like guns blazing, but there are solutions that exist, and we have to have a curiosity about it and get out of this fear crazy, wipe it all out mentality. So you know, thank you again. And these stories, we're telling them for a reason. And so start asking yourself these honest questions. And I love this one. How do you behave when you go to a restaurant? How do you
Mm.
behave when you go to a place where you're vacationing? Are you grateful? Are you grateful? How do you treat servers? Like, I love observing this. And I know that I'm like beyond grateful when I go in there. And know what? The treatment I get gets mirrored back to me every time, every time, even if they weren't in a great mood when I arrived, because I am choosing this is the reality I want to create for me. And I see it, and we all have this ability. And, like this is such a great place to start. Like you're going there on your vacation. Do you really want it to end in a fight and a lawsuit? Or can you have a discussion and say, what kind of a solution can we come to that isn't fear-based? Just wanted to challenge that. So, Renee, what have you got to say about
I want to
raising
sort of
your
throw,
vibration?
yeah, a little bit of a shift in there, because when you're going on vacation, this is just such a perfect thing, Tracy, to be bringing up, because when you're going on vacation and something like that happens, you get bit by a bed bug, whatever. Again, exactly what you said in the last one, Tracy. They didn't just manifest themselves there. Okay, somebody brought them in. Okay, but really look and say to yourself, why did I create this for myself? What was the thing? Where in my body does it say I can't just go and enjoy myself? I can't go and have a wonderful time, because pretty much it's probably a pattern or a program in your system. Like, I'm going to finally get away. I'm finally going to relax. I'm finally going to do something. And now, oh, of course, this happened. Well, that just ruined my vacation. So you went there with something in you, whether you recognized it or not. So I'm going to say, sort of turn that back around on you and say, why did I create this for myself? Because it's got nothing to do with the establishment you're at. It's coming back into you and something within your field, within your existence. So look at that, and how can I change this? How can I shift that? Or Patty, exactly said, like, how are you treating servers? How is all of that happening? If you're going into someplace and you're expecting, oh, these people are usually so nasty, or I'm in a bad mood, again, that's going to come back into you. You're in this bad mood, no matter what that server says, no matter how loving they may come at you is, you're going to hear it, you're going to see their actions as something completely different. So check yourself. And even if they are, and like, I've been at places where you just like walk in, like, hello, how are you? And they're just like, grumpy, and they don't, like, what do you want? Whatever. And just send love. Just send love, or just, you know what? I send them all they need. Do not go back at them with that same energy field, because that is going out in the whole universal consciousness, and that is helping to create the world we're living in. So
Yeah.
just imagine yourself, somebody coming at you, or you recognizing that you're in this mood. Recognize the fact, like, you know what? I'm just gonna like stop all this energy. I'm gonna change all of this energy into something different, or
Mhm.
into the opposite. Just thinking that, you don't have to do anything. Thinking that is going to shift and change that energy, and it goes up into the overall consciousness, and that starts to ruminate and shift and change, and it comes down. If you think, oh, the government's never going to change, how does it change? It changes by our thoughts, one by one by one by one, because it's not just us we're shifting and changing. We are shifting for this consciousness that's going on, because like we said in different ones, we are connected into everyone and everything in the world. We start to shift, it starts to move around the world, and eventually things change. You say, I want to raise my vibrational rate. Believe it or not, just saying that, your vibration is like, oh, okay, boom. Because we are these high vibrational rate beings. What we've done is we've dumbed them down to be the human, with all the limitations, with all the fears. So
Yeah.
it's so easy, yet we don't think it's that. We go down these rabbit holes. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. Oh, I got to light candles. I have to do this. I have to sit in a meditation position. No, that's not what we have to do. Ask to rate. Okay, I'm going to bring my vibrational rate to the highest level possible.
Yeah.
And when you're saying that, it's the highest level possible for you. It's not gonna, because some people are like, oh my God, what if it goes too high and then it screws me all up? Why would you create that? Like, your higher self is governing this whole thing. So it's like, no, it'll raise it to the highest level possible for you. And same thing with, sort of like a whole different thing, but meditation that can help raise your vibrational rate. Don't get into the whole thought, if I have to sit quietly, nothing can, be making noise or do whatever. If all of that's happening, find that still point inside you. Don't give the energy to that noise. And there's a lot of noise. Tracy was talking about this before. There's a lot of noise out there in the world. Don't give it like, oh, there's so many different things you can do. Yoga, like all the stuff that's out there, that's raising your vibrational rate. You going inside of you and not being bothered by this stuff, or saying, you know what, I'm choosing not to let that bother me, or I'm feeling angry about that, but I'm going to let that go now, because that's not how I want to show up today. I want to show up and I want to make changes in the world, and I'm going to make positive changes. Saying that raises the vibrational rate. I see it all the time. That one little shift in your brain shifts and changes, and it's amazing what can actually happen.
Yeah, very true. And like, go inward and just ask yourself, am I expanding or am I contracting right now? And you're going to know, am I giving away my power? Am I giving away my power right now to this? Is that what I want to create? For me, I just go, what do I want to create more of? I focus on creation, create. That's like, boom. For me, that's my discipline, is what do I want to create in this moment? And if something happens that I don't prefer, I don't give it attention. I go, no, well, what reality would I like to see instead? Because I know I'm amplifying that. That's what I want to amplify into the higher consciousness. I want to amplify the focus on the finished, right? What do I want the end result to be? Focus on that and shifting your attention to that, and don't give your energy away. Tracy, how about you? Tell us about how you keep up your vibrational energy.
Well, I'm sitting here listening, and I think I do a pretty good job. I stay in good communities. I love nature. I've got my things that I love that keep me centered, grounded, balanced for the most part. But I have obviously chosen this world that is very dynamic, very complex, a lot of layers and levels of, I've got hands and feet in every system out there. So I am navigating through it daily. And what I have seen is really coming to the forefront recently, I mean, for a while, but really amplified, is everyone needs to take personal responsibility. And everything we speak to is, if everyone every day could, how am I responsible? Like, really, at the end of the day, if everything in your life was your responsibility, you could rely on no one for anything, what does that look like? Because I feel the energetics at play. I know for me, where I'm at in my life, I have people grabbing at me every day, but you have to, it's your responsibility. And I'm like, the only person I'm responsible for is me. So like I say, we come from very different dynamics in life. I am very mindful of not having people pull me down from my vibration of going into the, am I responsible for their well-being? Because I employ a lot of people, I have children. No, my responsibility is to provide daily a high vibration, energetic work energy and space to give everyone an opportunity to thrive in. And I have to be mindful of all that comes from every direction and angle of people trying to pull me out of my vibrational stability so I can keep maintaining. I keep saying in the restaurants, my job is to maintain the whole, not the one. So I cannot focus in on, well, what's best for that employee or that customer? Because I'm always, no, the whole. So that's kind of, I'm sure a lot of you out there can resonate, because you are in positions of being responsible for a lot of people and things. And how do you keep your vibration high? And even if you feel as if you do a good job, to be mindful of why am I up against so many things that are potentially pulling me out? And then to stand in your truth, to stand and know I am energetically sound as I can be in this moment, and not letting No, that's their responsibility. No, my responsibility is to keep the moral compass, the energetic compass, the integrity compass where it needs to be. And then you guys got to figure the rest out on your own, because I'm holding my job here.
Yeah. And Tracy, that takes courage and it takes faith. It's a knowing. Like that takes extreme amount of faith and courage to just stay, no, I understand I'm keeping the whole together and
Mhm.
standing in your power. And it's funny, and I know this is going to be a topic in another episode, but from a soul standpoint, that some of us carried a soul wound or are still carrying a soul wound of like shape shifting, stealing love from somebody else.
Mm.
And guard your energy. By the way, you can only give it away. We have free will. But start to be aware of, is somebody looking to pull your energy from you, which means are you unconsciously giving it away? And so it's such a great point you're bringing up, and absolutely it takes courage, discipline, awareness, and fortitude to understand, like, truly knowing, okay, you understand the power that you have, and you're using it for the greater good of all. That's the key here. For the greater good of all. This is not the me show, but it's the what am I contributing to the overall, right? Renee,
Right,
you got.
exactly. And yeah, for everybody would work. I mean, you always hear about these things of, oh my God, I can't, be at work, this person, this person. Again, it's exactly what Tracy said. You're responsible for you and that energy that you're holding, that you're putting out. Somebody cannot come, well, they can always come at you, but somebody can, coming at you, it's up to you and how you're responding. Okay, so if you're like, you know what, I'm going to hold the space, exactly what Tracy or exactly what Patty's saying. I'm going to hold the space. How am I showing up here? I'm going to hold this space. That eventually shifts and changes the whole dynamics of an office, or at least how somebody responds to you. All of a sudden, you're holding that space so strong that person can't come near you. Because if somebody's coming at you to attack, it's because they need to feel better about themselves. They're trying to tear you down because they don't feel good about themselves. So don't you give your power up. Don't you do the minute you say, you know what, I'm going to stay there. And it might aggravate. You might feel that anger and you might want to say something, but check in with yourself. Okay, why am I feeling this anger? Okay, because it might be, oh, well, I'm giving up my power, or well, it's triggering something within me. Okay, so what am I going to do about this? Yeah, this is what I feel, but I recognize the feel now, and it's okay for me to let this go. Because a lot of the times when I see from an energetic point is when you're feeling that anger, that frustration, or feeling down, whatever it is, it's an energetic something within your body, and it sits within there, and it eventually creates separation within you. What's really crazy cool to me is when, like for myself, I'll feel something, I'm like, okay, yep, I feel this anger, and I can feel it's big, like it doesn't actually go with what actually happened. Like, why is this so big? Because it's pulling up something else from within to say, okay, look, we're ready to let this go. So it pulls up all of this huge thing. And now when you say, okay, I recognize this, and this isn't how I want to show up, or I'm just ready to let this go now, or I'm going to fill it with love and let everything else go. It is crazy how it just sort of dissipates and goes. A lot of this stuff within us just wants to be recognized. We were taught, at least I was taught, don't be angry, don't say anything bad, don't say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Well, why? They're attacking, so why should I be saying this? With all of these little programs that we have in us, and it's really basically squashing down the stuff. Or, one of the big things that some of my clients deal with is like, well, big boys don't cry. Why? Why don't they cry? Like, it's an emotion. We're emotional beings. That is one of the biggest gifts we have, is our emotional body. Because when you have that emotional body and you can feel emotionally what you want in life, man, that's when I see every single part of you, including the mind and the brain, get on board to create that for you. So it's like, no, we need to use these emotional bodies. And that's part of our thing. We have to feel what's going on, go within and feel. That's where the energy is going. That's what's happening. So as any, thing, you're raising your vibration with all these little things that you're doing. And the minute you think, well, I'm not raising my vibrational rate, well, congratulations, your vibration just went, okay, I got to stay here because she or he just said I'm not raising my vibrational rate. Stop thinking that you're not doing things, or stop thinking you've got these things. Oh, I've got to clear this. I thought I cleared it before. No, as soon as you feel it, let it go. That too raises your vibrational rate. Right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
just so many things we could do, and we're not recognizing and realizing that every single thing you're saying and thinking, if you think I want to do this, it's okay, I'm going to do this now. And your hearts get on board.
Yep. Yep.
Makes sense?
And don't compare. It's and it's hard not to do in the beginning, because I know when I first started doing this work, I would see other people and going, oh, wow, I want to get there. You can't, your journey is unique to you. So don't compare. Even listening to the three of us, don't compare your journey to ours. We're here sharing ours so that you can say, okay, some of that I resonate with. And then you look at you and say, okay, how is this landing on me? And right. And then how can I take responsibility for me and my path moving forward? And what do I want to create? And a great way for me when I was recognizing, okay, how instead of focusing solely on how can I raise my vibration, I became the low vibration police and said, okay, where am I lowering it? Because and then saying, and what, where am I lowering it? And use that opportunity to heal whatever needs to let go. By the way, if you don't let it go, your small trash can turns into a dumpster, and it'll keep growing until you release it. It's going to keep magnifying. So pay attention to where you're lowering your vibration. And then when it comes to raising, that's creation mode. That's, what do I want to create? How are you going? Are you having fun? Are you exercising self-care? Stop with the self-judgment. If you're criticizing your body or your face or whatever it is, you're lowering your vibration. When you're not giving love to yourself, you're lowering your vibration. Like, you've got to really take a hard look. And to do this, you got to slow your roll and say, am I expanding or contracting? And am I doing anything in this moment right now to lower my vibration? And if not, great. And if you feel that there's that unknown zone, right? The unknown zone, which means, so now you've released something, now you've got a void. Well, creation loves a void. And that's your moment to go into something that you're passionate about. Just using a coloring book or drawing or painting. Uh, if you enjoy cooking, create a new recipe. Um, Anything creative then puts you into the creative energy, which is expansion, which is growth. And it doesn't matter. Don't judge what you're creating. Just the fact that you're doing that raises your vibration. So, Tracy, got
Oh,
anything to add here?
always. I'm gonna give another little perspective from people who are out there on the streets, that this is something to be mindful of. We are still in a lot of systems and structures that are very low vibration. So the school system, probably half of the jobs out there. So that's a tricky little situation for us to sit there and talk. And I'm telling you, I'm there with you. I'm engaged still in a lot of systems that are extremely low vibration. They're full of manipulation, control, fear. So to even just a little bit day by day, just stand in your truth, even if you're in the middle of those systems. Because I think it's easy to say, well, make a choice, be in a high vibration. Well, if you're in the middle of a situation that is by design very low vibration, the world is changing. So this is a good, this is a very hopeful, optimistic thing to know. And also it's coming to mind here, so I'll say it. There's so many documentaries coming out of, behind the scenes in the pharmaceutical industries. And it takes that one or two people that start going, this isn't right. Like, this is inherently not right. And someone needs to start saying something, which is me. I'm the one that's like, I'm not putting up with this crap. But I'm not saying you need to do that, but even just hold a line of integrity in it, saying, I'm not really in alignment with this. Because if you can just mentally claim, Renee, you spoke to this, I don't think this resonates truth for me. And I'm not really in alignment. It is my reality right now, and that's okay. But just that claiming it, I'm kind of just saying it a different way. Renee, you already spoke to this, is powerful because, in my opinion, and what I see, it's availability. We can't keep playing the game, even though I'm going to keep helping them create this product, even though I know it's killing people, but it's my job. That's really not going to serve anyone. So even just starting to say, I'm just questioning this today. I'm going to put my energy, even though I'm in a bogus, corrupt system structure job. So that's a big one, because I know we can sit here and say these pretty easy words, but there are a lot of people out there in situations. And I would say that a lot of you, if you're especially listening to this, you're there by design, because I know that's me. Sometimes I'm like, why is this my life? Why am I in the middle of all of these bullshit, corrupt structures? Oh, because I'm going to be significant and saying no more. We're not doing this. We're changing how we do it. So it's a little
Well,
expanded version of, if you can't stand in the just be loving with good thoughts, I get you. I'm with you.
well, and something to keep in mind that can help support that, Tracy, for those of you who are listening, and I know a lot of you listening are obsessed with manifestation. How does manifestation work? And understand that what you're seeing today has already manifested, but you are a creator in your own right. And so what Tracy is saying is, even though like when you become aware, I am not in alignment with this, use your power of creation to hold yourself in that space and understand, okay, wait, I'm no longer in alignment with this. I'm now aware of my power of creation and what I see right now. And this is for any situation you don't like that you're trying to get out of. What you see with these physical eyes right now has already been created. Now you have the power now to hold your, stay in there and say, what do I want to create moving forward? How do I want to see this? And again, it takes courage and it takes that self-discipline. But if especially if you can just align yourself and start just that one step that Tracy just gave you. If you're in that type of a situation, massive. It changes your vibration, and not just that, you pull the vibration up around you. Remember, you're in it when you expand, you start that trickle effect. It's a ripple effect that's universal. It is universal. Our energies are universal. Renee, I'm going to let you wrap it up here.
Well, and I think, another little component is actually going within, because I think sometimes when you recognize, well, this doesn't really resonate, and what the heck am I going to do? I need this money, I need this whatever. Really come back into, I'm going to bring it back to what you were saying earlier, Patty, come back into your soul and ask for that direction. And, it's that whole thing of really, it comes forward for you. It does really generate a whole different look around you, and you start to see things differently. You start to feel different. And we can go on to a whole other thing with, talking to the soul, but it's that piece of, we are making the shifts and the changes with every little thought. You recognize you don't resonate exactly, what Tracy said, exactly what Patty said, exactly what we're saying is, hold that space. That will start to generate and move out. And if you want to picture yourself as there, just say, I'm this beam of light and I'm just shining out light. I'm not resonating with this. I'm holding this light and I'm going to shine that out. That's going to make a shift, and it's going to make a change. Don't look for the way you think it should be showing up, because trust me when I say it is making a shift and a change, and eventually it will get there. Hold your space, hold your ground, and you'll be amazed at what starts to happen.
Yeah. And the energy's there to support it. That's the key difference.
Mhm.
The energy now supports it. So if you were frustrated in the past, and there are many of you that have been doing this work for a long time, and you may have gotten on that teeter-totter and said, oh yeah, was having this positive thinking for a long time, and I tried to manifest and nothing happened. The energy is now there to support you, and that's why we're here, talking about what's going to happen when the pigs start flying. So, well, thank you for a great episode, ladies, and thank you for all of you who are listening. Continue to like and subscribe and share, and we love you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next episode.